Yeah. So Evan's been in the news lately. She actually went she went viral Friday, I believe, with quite a quite a thread. Well, it wasn't a thread. It was like one or two. It was one or two posts, I believe. Evan, are you back?
I'm back. Sorry about that.
Okay. All right. So yeah, this is what I really wanted to go over towards the end, towards the end here. And let's see. Just pull it up here. Evan got some of the nastiest pushback for this post here. Let me just pull it up. And she says, Evan. "Oh, go ahead."
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Stop being poor.
Yeah, stop being. Yeah, that's exactly what this was. So the post reads, quote, "No," Evan writes, "No one in my family who voted for Trump owns any stocks. For all the rich Democrats panicking today, you now know how it must have felt when Jimmy Carter destroyed 400,000 trucking jobs. When Bill Clinton signed NAFTA, shipping jobs to Mexico and Canada, causing industry to board up in the middle of the country left to rot. When he deregulated the finance industry and led us to the 2008 housing crisis. And when Obama told us, sorry, some jobs just aren't coming back. If you see this post, I hope you look in the mirror at some point today and recognize the destruction of your own party has played in the lives of working Americans. This is what Liberation Day is all about. No one is going to weep for your stock portfolio. Where were you when we lost our American dream? We needed that.
Yeah.
That was that was fantastic. Fantastic. No.
Yes.
No.
Yes, Queen.
No. We don't do that.
Queen Apostate.
No.
You did that, Evan. Oh my gosh.
Not the snaps. Not the snaps. You leave that to the leftists. Leave that to them. They do that dumb shit at the protest. But Evan, what made you write that? Because I think you're up to like 2.6 million views now. What made you write that?
Struck a nerve, right? Especially for a post. I don't know. It was crazy. That's probably I've had a video go viral like that before, but that was my first just writing, that went viral, especially with not even having, I only have like 20,000 followers or something. So, but I wrote that post because I was watching the news and I was just seeing how people that I know in the Bay Area were reacting to Liberation Day, how they basically were just looking at Trump as if he's lost his mind. They didn't even really understand any of the reasoning or any of the backstory about the pain of people from my community. I'm originally from Missouri, that basically had their lives destroyed by bad trade policy. And that's why you see people like Sean Fain. He is the United Auto Workers president, who is an ardent Kamala Harris supporter, coming out and praising these tariffs and saying, thank God we finally have an administration that gives a shit about this. Because honestly, and I know in that post I was making a point about Democrats, and I did that purposely, and I can get into that in a minute, but this has been an issue that has been neglected by both parties. It's been both parties, the old Republican Party and the neoliberal Democratic Party, that has allowed this to happen, that has allowed manufacturing, has completely ceded manufacturing to China, has shipped jobs overseas, has allowed people's lives to be completely destroyed Barack Obama was asked this question in 2012 when he was campaigning for his re-election campaign. He was asked by I believe it was an auto worker in Michigan who wanted to know, who told him a story about his job being sent to Mexico and wanting to know like what Obama was going to do. And basically, point blank, he said, jobs just aren't coming back. Like, you're just going to have to find something else. And what there's these people on the coast, especially, not you guys, obviously, but a lot of these like rich elite people, liberals that live on the coast that have never driven through the middle of the country, right? They have no context. They have no idea, or the South, Georgia has also been affected by NAFTA, where Audrey lives, but they've never ever seen these communities and the way that they're hollowed out and the way that these used to be thriving towns where middle class, blue collar, working class people could thrive and live and have a piece of the American dream. They could buy a house on a salary with a job that they got without having a college degree. And that just doesn't exist. We basically traded all of our good trades and manufacturing jobs for service industry jobs in the United States. That's exactly what's happened. Jobs without benefits, jobs that pay very little, jobs that are underappreciated. And we've allowed ourselves, and JD Vance talks about this too. He says it's an issue of national security as well. We saw during COVID all these supply chain shortages that were happening because everything that we need, our medications, our chips, our technology, just all of these like basic things, the supplies that we need to build our cars and to build our ships for our military are all being manufactured elsewhere. And that's just stupid. And Donald Trump has seen this since the 1980s. He's been talking about this. It's pissed him off. He sees Americans getting ripped off. They call him the blue collar billionaire president for a reason. And that's because he sees it. He sees the pain and he gets it. And for once, we have a president that's actually fighting for these lost, forgotten people. And it pisses me off when I see liberals. And by the way, the Democrats used to support tariffs. Like, there's a video that went viral of Nancy Pelosi talking about tariffs in 1996 and how but she's basically fighting back against NAFTA and what Bill Clinton signed off on. Mm-hmm. But they don't talk about this anymore because they're all enriched by it. They're all getting rich off of it. And they're all getting rich off of the destruction and the humiliation of working class people.
That's right.
That have no American dream anymore. And for once, we have a president who's willing to fight for them. And so it pissed me off to see all these people freaking out about their stock portfolios. When it's like, damn, like, do you understand the reason or what he's fighting for? And if you don't, let me tell you. And before you try to blame it all on Ronald Reagan, and yes, Ronald Reagan did play a hand. I'm not denying that. Like, I'm not. But Democrats did too. Just as much. It was a handshake agreement between both parties. And they like to just blame Republicans, and they refuse to see their own part in it. And that's why I wrote it. And it must have struck a nerve. I got so many heinous responses. The thing that struck me the most, and I know I've been talking for a while now, but I'll just say this. The thing that struck me the most about the post is the number of people that just did not believe me when I said that people in my family did not have retirements. That they just they couldn't fathom it. And I'm like, that tells me that there's something. And I looked at the people, I went and clicked on their profiles. 90% of them were liberals. Okay. And that tells me that they just they can't fathom it because it's not their reality. Like they don't know people like that. And guess what? I actually looked this up over the weekend because I'm like, am I crazy? Like, am I the one in the bubble that I just think that everyone's like my family? Well, I looked it up over the weekend, and the bottom half of this country, 47% of people between the ages of 65 and 69 as of 2023 had $0 in retirement. The bottom 50% of this country has zero, nothing. That's the majority. There's like if you look up, like, and then there's like 10% of people had like over like 20,000, right? And then basically the higher up you go, like the more basically the way that the chart works is that the smaller the percentage, like the higher you get, basically, right? And so most of the wealth is concentrated in this one direction. Whereas like the bottom, like the majority of the people have nothing in retirement. So that's who Trump's fighting for. And I was listening to Besant earlier speak to Tucker Carlson about tariffs, and he literally says that. He's like, it's time for the bottom 40 to 45% of this country to get some relief because they've been squeezed and punished the longest.